Welcome to the Modernize or Die Podcast, CFML News Edition, where we keep you up to date with everything going on in the Cold Fusion community. We'll share the latest news on events, releases to engines, frameworks, libraries, and tools, as well as spotlighting quality content from the community. Welcome to Modernize or Die Podcast, CFML News Edition. It's episode 148. May 17th, 2022, and I'm Gavin Pickin, and I'm joined by Daniel Garcia today. How's it going?
Hello. It's going great, Gavin. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We got lots of good stuff today to share, don't we?
Always. Every week, Gavin. Every week.
Yeah, it seems like a little more today, but anyway. Those in the chat already talking up. Good. Daniel Mejia, David Bellinger, Adam Cameron. Uh-oh, he's back again. We'll have to put him in the corner later, but more about that as we go on. Okay.
Peter's there too. Okay, so let's get started. We want to say thanks, as always, to all our sponsors, Ortus Solutions, the makers of CodeBox, CommandBox, ForgeBox, TestBox, all your favorite boxing out there.
Still can't get it, huh?
Boxy, boxes. Anyway, a few ways to say thanks back to Ortus Solutions. You can, ding, 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 buy some Into the Box tickets and come to the conference. We have a lot more information on that in just a little bit. You can like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube. You can help Ortus reach for the stars by starring and forking our repos. You can star all of our GitHub box dependencies for CommandBox with the CommandBox GitHub module that Eric so lovingly crafted. You can subscribe to our podcast on your podcast apps and leave us a review. You can sign up for a free or paid account on CFCasts, which is releasing new content every week. Or you can buy Ortus's book, 102 CodeBox HMBC Quick Tips and Tricks on Gumroad.
That's a lot for sure. And then we have Patreon supporters as well. So we have right now surpassed our first goal, which is providing 100% of this Modernize or Die podcast. And so patreon.com/Ortus Solutions, you can see we have 36 Patreons providing 100% of that goal, and we're halfway through the next goal, which is fully funding the hosting of ForgeBox.io. So our package management platform, obviously we have hosting on S3 for your packages, and so we're trying to get fully funded for that as well. So if you guys would like to go patreon.com/Ortus Solutions, you can help do that. And one of our big Patreon supporters that just posted, Haggerty, or Motorsport Reg, they are looking for a couple of developers, and so we have a little sponsored bit right here. So let's play that video and find out more about Haggerty Motorsport and how you might want to join their team. And today with me I have Brian from Haggerty. You want to tell us a little bit about what you guys do over there?
Hey, Gavin, thanks for having us on. First, we're big fans of the podcast, so it's fun to be here with you today. I work at a company called Haggerty. I am a longtime Cold Fusion person that folks might know from conferences and so forth many years ago. And right now I'm leading a team at Haggerty, and we build a two-sided SaaS marketplace called motorsportreg.com. And so this last year, we did hundreds and hundreds of thousands of event registrations for automotive and motorsport events. And right now I'm looking to hire two senior Cold Fusion and JavaScript developers. So we've got a pretty large and pretty complex Cold Fusion app. And we're also building a lot of Node and Vue. That's kind of our future technology stack. And so we're looking for two engineers to come join our team and help us basically build, enhance, and grow into the future.
Wow, sounds pretty good. I know that you did a lot of work with the CF payment library back in the day when we met way back in 2013 or something, I think, at CF Objective.
Yeah.
And so, it was like basically battle tested because you guys put just thousands and thousands of transactions through it, right?
Yeah, the CF payment was a labor of love for me. I saw something that was cool in another language, and I'm like, we need that in Cold Fusion. I can say that library has probably processed, maybe $1 billion, not just from us, from lots of people who use it, but hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. So yeah, we work at a pretty large scale. And the other cool thing is that it's consumer facing. So my family, a lot of my family are accountants. And so the joke that I always make is you can build any kind of software anywhere, like you can build accounting software, but we get to build software for motorsports. And so one of the fun side effects of that is that we get to go to the racetrack and we deal with people who are really living out their passion. Like this is what they love to do for fun. And so it's a fun space to be operating in and supporting them at that scale.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of pictures up on Twitter, and I do get jealous. But well, it sounds great. Sounds like you guys are doing great things in the community and in the industry. And yeah, so we got 2 spots available. So if you guys are interested, check out Brian, and we'll have more details in the show notes. So thanks a lot, Brian.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everyone.
Very cool. Good seeing Brian and recording that little bit there for Haggerty Motorsport Reg. Yeah, definitely check them out. A couple of great job opportunities there, and we've got the link in the show notes, and we'll talk a little bit more at the job section. Okay, next up, news and announcements, and let's get into the box announcements. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on there. So hot off the presses today, and I mean today, like I posted it just before we started the podcast. We're announcing the speakers and sessions for Into the Box 2022 Round 1. So this is so hot off the press, we haven't even emailed the speakers to tell them that they're being picked yet. But here are a few of the Ortus speakers. So we have Luis Mahano and Grant Copley talking about CBFS, abstract, extend, integrate any file system. Brad Wood's going to be talking about securing and tuning CommandBox servers for production. John Clausen's going to be talking about CB Commerce, a flexible modular e-commerce solution. Grant Copley will be doing Sublime reactivity with CB Wire. You, Daniel, are going to be talking about Alpine.js, Declare and React. And then Dan Card's going to be unpacking the box. Why so many boxes and what do they do? Which I think is going to be a good session. And then we got a ton of community speakers too, right, Daniel?
We do. We absolutely do.
Yep, and so a few of them are in the chat right now. A few of them listen on. So like Scott Steinbeck, he's going to be talking about advanced PDF generation and building a GitHub Markdown conversion process. He's been working hard with Brad on that, so he'll share some of that. Will De Bruin is going to be talking about documenting your API. Nolan Irk is going to be talking about web components in your CFML application. Abram Adams, the guy behind TryCF, is going to be talking about Chaos, a CommandBox module for DevOps. Seth Stone will be talking about Quick Start for CI/CD automation on AWS. And Sean Oden, I'm just here for the t-shirt, talking about imposter syndrome, which that sounds like it's going to be a great session. So that's just the first batch of speakers. And it's really cool. We've got a good mix of about 6 Ortus and 6 community speakers and some really cool sessions there. It was really hard to decide, right, Daniel? You were in on the process. There was a lot of hard decisions to make.
A lot of great content and great ideas.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. The blog is out, and you guys are going to hearing it first, basically. So even the speakers didn't know. So congratulations, Scott and Vil, if you're in there. But yeah, we'll be announcing more tomorrow or later this week. I think Thursday we're going to be releasing the next set, and then we got some more news as well. Okay, so that's all the speakers. But last week we announced our first workshops. So we announced the first 4. Async programming and scheduling, containerizing and scaling your applications, legacy code conversions to the modern world, and test box getting started with BDD, TDD, oh my. So those are the first 4, and the cool thing is if you go to the Into the Box website, which I'm going to share my screen, hopefully I got the right screen being shared here. We've been updating the website too. So you'll see there's some Into the Box 2021 videos and 2020 videos up there too. But you'll see the first 4 workshops are here. So there's a description if you want to find out more about it. And you might have noticed there's a new one on the list here. VueJS, Spa, and Mobile with REST APIs. It's up there before we even got the blog post out. So these here, this was voted on Twitter. We had to put a poll out because we weren't sure about the last one because we couldn't decide if we wanted to do quick or this VueJS one with REST APIs, or a CommandBox one, and the votes were in, and they picked the VueJS one. So I'm going to be leading this one here, and Daniel Garcia is going to be helping me with that. The test box getting started with BDD, TDD, oh my. Brad is leading that one. Dan Card is working on legacy code conversion to the modern world. Luis Mahano and Eric Peterson is going to be working on the async programming and scheduling, and containerizing and scaling your applications. John Clausen is leading this one, and I believe we have a couple of our TAs that are going to be helping as well, so it'll be very, very cool. So I'm excited to get those announcements out there, and we still got more. So we also had a letter basically a template letter for you to send to your boss. We'll talk a bit more in the blog section. And we got our first couple of sponsors. So Computer Know-How, which has been an Ortus friend for a long time, are back in the action sponsoring, and we'll tell you more about that. And we got more sponsors signing up right now, so you'll hear about that in the next few days too. Man, lots of Into the Box updates.
And I'm getting these out there 1 second.
No
I went
problem.
to link and YouTube told me that it's too much text in one link, so I had to break it up.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited for these workshops too. I'm also excited to be in the same room as you, Gavin, when you do the Vue one, because I will always learn when you're up there talking.
Yep, and we're doing something pretty cool. We'll be announcing more about what's in it very soon. I'm working on the outline right now and the blog post that'll go with it, so you'll find out what we're doing. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to do that, so hopefully you guys will be excited and you can sign up for that. So
moving on, we learned that TryCF has started a Patreon. So TryCF, I think a lot of us on here use that all the time to test out different code and the different engines, whether it's Lucee or ACF. They are now starting a Patreon. You go there, support them. We'll get the link out there. So become a patron and help them out. That would be fantastic. And we'll talk a little more about that later as well. Next up, Stack Overflow questionnaire. They posted a developer questionnaire. If you want to fill out this year's Stack Overflow survey, make sure to write in your CFML engine and frameworks and all the write-in spots. We'll post it out there too. Peter's given a clap to TryCF. That's awesome. Please take out that survey. Just fill it out with CodeFusion goodness. Also, in case you missed it, CFWheels guides has moved to Gitbook. So if you're looking for the CFWheels guides, want to get all the latest information, go to Gitbook and check them out, or ping Peter and Miri.
Yep, and of course now that it's on GitHub as well with Gitbooks, you can make pull requests, add some of your own guides to it, and help them out. So that's one of the big reasons we like Gitbook over Ortus too. So it makes it easier for contributions, typos, grammar, which is my big thing. Sorry, Daniel helps me with that a lot. So, but yeah. Okay.
You have a fondness for ellipses, Gavin.
I know. I just throw them everywhere because they're fun.
I delete them everywhere and put commas in place.
Yep. No fun. Okay, well, next up we have new releases and updates. So last week, Adobe released their new updates, and of course, Brad and John were Johnny on the spot and got those CommandBox updates out there too. So now you can have CF Engine 2018, I think it's update 14, and then CF 2021, update 4 are now available on ForgeBox. And the cool thing is when you're starting CommandBox 5.5 on Adobe CF 2021, you're finally free of Log4j 1x, which is awesome.
Hey.
Now 2018 still has some Log4j 1x hiding in there, so just so you know. But the new one, Adobe CF 2021, we're using CommandBox, no more Log4j anywhere to be found. It's pretty cool.
Nice, great job, guys. Coming up next, CFWheels 2.3.0, the stable is released. This is the official 2.3 release. It's dropping a little over a week after the release candidate 1. They want to make sure they had some things functioning the way they wanted to before they did the release. And they're confident this is the final release. So we'll go ahead and post that link. You'll go check it out. Again, if you have questions, email Peter.
Yep.
He'll help.
Yeah, bug Peter. He's doing a lot for the CFWheels project right now. So he's in the chat talking it up too. So we're always good to have him here. Now, Lucee is releasing a release candidate for 5.3.9.141. It's following up on the 1.3.3 stable release. They found a number of regressions which now been addressed. So they're doing a quick 5.3.9.141 release candidate before releasing that second stable on that 5.3.9. They're hoping to do it Monday is what they said, but that was before Monday. I know that I've got to get out there and actually check a couple of bugs that I filed to make sure that they're being fixed. So I will try and do that and then get back to them. So Anthony said he's never tried CFWheels. CFWheels is a solid framework. It's built to be basically like a Ruby on Rails equivalent in ColdFusion. So it's pretty neat. They do a lot of work on it. I know that the people that actually built it originally, they all went to Ruby on Rails like way back in 2012, and Tom King and Peter's done a great job in the last few years, really stepping up, doing a lot of updates, and they're really active right now. So it's good to see, frameworks blossoming in ColdFusion. So have a look at it. They've got some cool videos and some good content. Okay, what else do we have?
Lucee has the ForgeBox and Docker Builds triggering automatically now. So I want to put it out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool to, if you want to see how they do it too, because it's obviously Lucee's open source, so you can go and check out their GitHub Actions, I assume, is what they're running in there. Maybe a Travis, I'm not sure. So go have a look.
Yeah. Also, in case you missed it, ColdFusion 2021 and 2018 May security updates are out there. Now, remember, these are just security updates, not bug fixes. Charlie posted a blog article talking about some of that. But security updates are always good. Please go check them out.
Yeah, just remember all those hot fixes that you've been installing for the last 9 months for a variety of issues and updates that you need to do. They were not in that patch, and so by installing that patch, you're basically uninstalling all your hot fixes. You're going to have to reinstall them all. So hopefully you keep track of them all and which ones and whatever. And that's kind of what the debate is online right now. People are saying, well, it shouldn't take 9 months to get an update out for this. Security being done separately is great. We all acknowledge that. But maybe they could have wrapped in an update that had those hot fixes included, because it shouldn't take 9 months to get some of these out. So, Charlie's basically working 24 hours a day right now because every customer is basically, blowing their servers up because they're updating and nothing's working because they didn't realize, none of these hot fixes are included. And so, yeah. Adam's in the chat saying debate right now, debate for the decade. Yeah. Well, Charlie's got some slack because he's so nice about everything, but he kind of finally said, no, Adobe, this is wrong. And so everyone's getting mad at him. He's like, they did it right. They did a security update. Yeah, releasing a security update with no updates is fine. Charlie doesn't have a problem with that. He has a problem that we've got some customers are installing 6 or 7 different hotfixes for different things that could have been tested and released by now. And like I said, if they'd done a security one and then maybe right after release one that had most of those hotfixes, everybody would be happy. But now they have to go back and reinstall 6 or 8 hotfixes on top of this. And who knows if those hotfixes interfere with this stuff, because anyway, a lot of different stuff. So that's the issue. Charlie's getting some slack for it, but basically he's just saying, all of his customers are screaming. They're in pain. He knows it because he fixes it for everybody. So he can see the pain it's causing. And it's like, they got to do something better. Like, roll out something, where it's like, maybe every 3 months release some of the hot fixes into some type of stable release or something. So yeah, in case you missed it, there's some drama. Go check it out.
There's some drama in the chat. Hey, Adam, this is a family show, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. But Adam's right, though. It's like the CF team doesn't use CF. They don't seem to care or see that. And, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on there. And again, great that they're available as hotfixes, but, they need to get something out sometime. They can't wait for the next version. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry.
And my takeaway from all this, Gavin, is Charlie, thank you for all that you do, and others, but you especially for leading the charge.
Yep, and to make time to come to our podcast and get in the chat, even though I know you're probably working 23 and a half hours a day right now. So
at least.
Yep. Anyways. Okay.
Thanks,
what else
Adam.
we got?
Okay, in case you missed it, CV Elasticsearch version 2.3.0 released. So we are pleased to announce release to version 2.30 CV Elasticsearch. It's the Elasticsearch module for ColdBox. It provides fluent CFML API for interacting with searching and serializing Elasticsearch servers. Now, Gavin, when they say fluent, what do they mean for other people that may know what that means, not for me?
The sort of the jQuery type chainable, like do this and then do this, like dot function name, and be more friendly. But if you want to know more, really, come and watch the webinar this month. Michael Bourne's doing one on fuzzy searching Elasticsearch, which we'll tell you about soon. But yeah, that's the gist of it. It's the jQuery type chainable thing. That's
Chaining.
Really, yeah, for the most part. And then names that actually mean something useful.
Method chaining. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out.
Scott Steinbeck says method chaining. Since he is never wrong, I think you're good.
Sounds good. Okay, well, speaking about webinars, let's go to our webinars, meetups, and workshops. And then next up, we have this Ortus webinar in May, clearing the fuzzies on fuzzy search with Michael Bourne. So he's going to say, show you basically through the world of search and looking at how your database searches are, they're cool, but maybe not smart enough, and how Elasticsearch can really make it pretty powerful. Now, I will say, databases have got cool plugins. Postgres has some cool fuzzy searching stuff and everything else, but Elasticsearch takes it to the next level. So that webinar is available on ortussolutions.com/events/webinars. You can go sign up. Sign up for the Zoom webinar. They'll send you an email reminder and everything else, and it's going to be pretty cool.
I love his title, Clearing the Fuzzies.
For sure.
Yeah, so in case you missed it, last week, it was last week, the online Cold Fusion meetup, our own Gavin did a code reuse in Cold Fusion of spaghetti code, still spaghetti if it is dry. So that happened last Thursday. We do have the recordings up there. Go check it out. Being distributed by Charlie's Lunch. Grilled cheese with tomato and bacon. Use mayo rather than butter if you have not tried it. That sounds really good, Charlie.
Yep.
Sorry, spaghetti and Charlie and bacon.
I know. At the end of my session, I did have a slide saying, we're talking about raviolis and pizza and spaghetti and, the different analogies. I'm like, is everybody hungry? Good, because it's lunchtime. Let's go.
Charlie, you had me thinking, my friend.
Yep. And there's a couple more online CF meetups coming soon. I actually have to get a title and description to Charlie so we can announce that one. And I think Charlie's got another one coming up soon. So we'll let you know as soon as those are official. And then we have Adobe workshops. So Adobe's been busy too. They have one coming up here, an actual workshop, European time by Damien Brodonks on May 24th. And then we also have a webinar on May 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific. Mark Takata is going to be exploring the CF Administrator, Part 1. And then in June, we actually have a workshop in Eastern Time. So Brian Sappy is going to be leading this American Time Zone Eastern Time workshop, May 15th at 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. And then on the 22nd of June, we have another European workshop. Damien Brunel is going to be doing that, 9 a.m. Central European Time. And lots of links getting posted in there in the chat. And if you go to the meetus.adobeevents.com/coldfusion, they have all their webinars and workshops all in one list. And they're trying to provide all the recordings there as well. So a lot of stuff there, and a lot of content coming from Adobe too.
Yep, had to keep. Oh, it's June 15th, not May 15th.
Oh, did I say that wrong? Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. No worries at all. And yep, Charlie, what's better than bacon? More bacon. And hey, my friend Joe Dixon's on there, and he agrees. Awesome. Good to see you, Joe. Okay, so coming up on CFCast content updates. So news. Several Into the Box 2021 videos are now free, so you can watch them and get in the mood for Into the Box 2022. Yep. Specifically, also all of the Publish Your First ForgeBox package videos are also now free. Those are all Gavin's. Great videos for getting started with ForgeBox and packages. Just released as well, Gavin, we just talked about this. Publish Your First ForgeBox package. How to update the package via the CLI.
Yep. How
to use box scripts. How to update package via the web UI. All our 2022 ForgeBox Modules of the Week series, as well as the 2022 VS Code Hit Tips and Tricks of the Week series.
Yep, lots of videos in there already. So we got 14 videos in the Publish Your First ForgeBox package. And yeah, we've gone back to the start of 2022 to release these VS Code and ForgeBox videos. And so we've already got 10, 11 videos for each of those. So a lot of cool content there, and much more bite-sized, so you guys can just grab the one you want. Maybe you're looking at VS Code that we covered and you can't remember what one it is. Just go through the list and watch it again.
It was kind of funny. My wife's scrolling through our YouTube, and all of a sudden she's starting to see my face pop up more and more. And she's like, what are you doing on there? And, well, it's the VS Code tips and tricks of the week, or the this or the that. So it's not creeping her out, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah. You're getting more popular. How about that?
Yep. And coming soon, more Gavin, picking all the time, all Gavin. Publish Your First ForgeBox package, Logbox 101, as well as more ForgeBox and VS Code podcast snippet videos. Now, the Logbox 101, that is not you, Gavin. That is...
Eric Peterson is working on that right now, getting it edited, so he should be releasing that one again soon. And I'm trying to actually get some more advanced ForgeBox one out as well. We've been talking about how to update your existing open source projects, and Ben Adele's got a lot of cool stuff that we were like, man, I wish this wasn't a ForgeBox module. So he gave me permission to do some. So I'm going to try and do some of those conversions and put them up on ForgeBox, and with his permission, obviously, and then have collaboration so we can show Ben how we did it, and get more of that stuff up on ForgeBox more often. So I'm hoping to get that out soon too. But again.
Yep. Oh, and Anthony, vegan bacon. I think it's just called Fakin. I think that's actually a product out there I've tried.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
That's why I like keto stuff. You can eat lots of bacon and sausage and eggs. Pretty good. Okay. Conferences and training. So in case you missed it, DockerCon was last week. It was an awesome workshop. Lots of great content, and it's on demand, available already. And there's some really cool stuff there. So I really got excited when they talked about Docker extensions. So even easier ways to tie in other products and solutions. And our friends over at Portainer, have an extension, and they got cool stuff and a lot of good sessions. So it's on demand. Go check out those videos. There's a lot of cool stuff there. And they have the beginner stuff all the way through to the black belt, like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? Level stuff. And then Microsoft Build is coming up 24th to 26th of May. And so you guys can just go sign up for that. It's looks to be a pretty cool conference, and I really like how they're doing the one-on-one bookings as well. So if you actually want to dive in deeper with somebody, you can make a booking that can help you with your problem. That actually inspired us to do something different into the box this year, which we're working on, try and give you more opportunity to get your questions answered. Oh man, what else we got?
Okay, coming up next week the 25th.
Next Friday, I think.
Time is flying. So next week is IonicConf. It's a free online Ionic conference. May 25th. It's a full day of talk from experts, leaders in the web community, showing the web, mobile app development. So definitely check them out. And then also coming up in June, which is a few weeks away. Wow. June 8th through 10th, the US VueJS conference, Beach Code Vue. The workshop day is June 8th with the main conference on June 9th and 10th. You can check out the link to there, as well as their speakers and schedules are announced.
Yep, so I'm just sharing that for those who are watching. Some pretty good names, like some pretty high names there. They got some lightning talks too, so if you didn't get your talk accepted, you can actually do some lightning talks as an attendee, which is kind of cool. I remember some of the old CFs used to do that. Now Dan Vega, he used to be a big Cold Fusion guy. He's actually doing a session at VueConf, which is cool. He does a lot of work with Spring Boot now, and obviously VueJS, so he's speaking, so I know that name. There's a few others in here as well, so looks really cool. Okay, and then next up we have that conference. So they have one in Texas and Wisconsin every year, and they do a lot of online stuff too, but I like their description of themselves. We're a full stack, tech-obsessed community of fun, code-loving humans who share and learn together. And the cool thing is that in the July one, it's going to be at a water park, which is, I automatically like these guys. But you're going to be speaking at that one, right? So you're going to be speaking in July 25th through the 28th. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. This is an awesome conference. I went for the first time a few years ago, just before COVID. It was a great time. Took the wife and son with me, and they loved it. And I'm very excited to be going back. They didn't do it last year because, things. I don't think they did it last year, but I wasn't going last year either way. But we're looking forward to it. It's very exciting, and there we go.
Very cool.
Coming up in July, we have the Adobe Developer Week 2022, July 18th through 22nd. It's online, it's virtual, and free. What more can you ask for? It's back, bigger and better than ever. I don't think they've got the 2022 speakers yet.
Nope.
Not looked today, but last I looked, they did not.
Yep.
But I'm sure that'll be coming soon. They got some time.
Yep, and I heard some speakers are being contacted about it, so wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you should hear some more very soon.
Oh, I heard as well. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Also coming up, CF Summit in person at Las Vegas.
Hopefully.
Well, I was going to say tentatively October 2022, just because we don't have official dates on that. There were some dates, but then they got pulled, and so
waiting for official stuff.
Waiting for official, so we don't want to say because we don't know. But I'm sure when they do announce it, they'll be all over the Twitter sphere, social sphere.
Yeah, I saw it was actually listed on 10 times. I was trying to see if there was some dates announced somewhere that I just didn't see. So if you go to 10times.com, it has the conference and it has the dates. So I don't know if someone just put those dates in there willy-nilly, or they saw the tweet, or someone's just hoping they do. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully we'll find out soon.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Well, it wasn't like you, Gavin, putting them in there trying to.
It wasn't, no. I didn't do that. I didn't even know that place existed until then. But coming up in June, so June 29th to the 30th, we have VueJS Forge. And so cool thing about that is that it's free, and it's going to be thousands of people getting around the world actually building a hackathon style real world application in just 2 days. And so I've talked about it before. You can sign up as an individual or sign up as a company. So I did some research and talked to them about what would happen with a company. So the way it works is that if you're free as an individual, you go sign up free, you get put with a team, and then you can try to register for some of the workshops, but it's a first come, first serve. But as a business, you get your team of 5, so you get to pick it. And you get guaranteed seats at those workshops, and you get Vue School annual memberships included, but there is a price tag. So it's a $2,000 price tag for that team. So, this is a good value in the memberships and guaranteed workshops. So if that sounds like a good value for your team, then maybe you guys can sign up. I said we're looking to see if we want to do that for Ortus or not, maybe put a team in or two. But, I mean, even sign up as an individual. Getting to work with other people, other languages, I think sounds like a lot of fun. So one way or the other, I will be doing it. And for those who don't do it, maybe I'll give you a report back afterwards and let you know how it goes. And then Into the Box 2022. So 6th, 7th, and 8th of September. Remember, we have that 1 day of workshops before the conference. We now have 5 official workshops announced. Some great conference workshops. And they're new, too. A lot of these are very new workshops because on CFCasts, you have a lot of the workshops we've been doing before. The CommandBox Zero to Hero, the CommandBox Hero to Superhero, the Quick, getting up and running with Quick. A lot of those workshops are available on CFCasts. So it gives us the opportunity to do some new stuff, some cool stuff. And so if you go to intothebox.org, you can find out about more of those. And those speakers, remember that first round of speakers is being released. The second round of speakers will be released later this week. And yeah, we're updating the Into the Box blog almost every day. So we got sponsors being announced. We've got different things. We're trying to get as much content out as possible. So go check out the intothebox.org site and check out the blog. Subscribe and you'll get all the news. Into the Box early bird tickets end 31st of May though. So save a couple $100, grab them early, and start booking your airfare and hotel, and hopefully we'll have those hotel codes for you sometime this week too, so you guys can get the deal.
It's a new hotel too.
Yep, new hotel, new venue, looks really amazing. So we're really excited about that. So a lot of cool things going on with the conference. We're looking forward to it. Getting really excited now. So, and then Into the Box Latam, we have a date. So December 7th. It looks like that's the actual date they're doing. So we've got a date from the venue. So more information coming very soon on Into the Box Latam, and I got to learn some more Spanish if I'm going to make that one. So I'm not sure I got enough Spanish skills this year, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yep.
Awesome. So some news on CF Camp. We mentioned this in prior, but there will be no CF Camp 2022. They are looking at targeting summer 2023 again. Right now, it's just too hard. There's too much uncertainty right now. I mean, we can certainly understand that. Traveling is kind of, it is what it is, but we're hoping they can, do something next year. That'd be awesome. I'd love to go to that.
Yep, for sure. One of my kids is learning French. The other is Italian. My wife's learning Italian because of her heritage. So I got to learn some French and Spanish too, so we can get over there and enjoy CF Camp for sure. So Duolingo, it's awesome. We're doing that. The kids are playing on it all the time. They think it's fun to learn. Don't tell them the secret.
Isn't this the third week running you've given that CF Camp news? Yes, it probably is, but we want to make sure that people know that it's not happening and that hopefully, next year. So
yeah, exactly.
Those guys, we're very excited for them all. So we want to keep them in our thoughts.
Yep. We didn't give you the whole spiel this time, Adam. Don't worry. We could have read another 3 paragraphs of stuff, but we'll just leave that for the show notes. So, but
we had a time for Adam's Corner.
Yeah, for sure. But more conferences. Comps.tech great site for a lot of different things. So if you're looking for something else, something extra, go check that out. Next up, let's talk about blogs, tweets, and videos of the week. And let's start with Into the Box announcing the speakers. So again, obviously we talked about it. Got a great number there. So the first 12 speakers in the sessions are announced. We got the blog, but we'll leave it at that.
Yep.
Next up.
Speaking of Adam and Adam being bad. Actually, this is Adam being very good. So Adam posted a blog entry about if you're a CFML dev, you should consider financially supporting trycf.com. We mentioned this earlier. Adam, thanks for helping get the word out there. But go to trycf.com. You can be a supporter. Help them keep their cool, wonderful service that we all like to use and show them some love.
Yep. Actually, Ortus Solutions just recently reached out to Abram, and we had a meeting to see what his plans are for it and everything, and see how we can help. And we obviously love TryCF and we want to support it, so it's really cool, and you guys can support it too. So it's the best tool out there for that right now, and we'd like to make it even better. So it's really cool project, and I'm glad I can't believe it's been like 8 years since he started that. I remember when I was blogging way back in 2014, we had a competition to set up some cool little things on the site, and yeah, it's a great project, great guy. So support him if you can.
Absolutely. Also from this yesterday, I guess, Peter Amiri blogging about CFWheels, and they are announcing a bug bounty, which is kind of cool. So they're launching a program that will lead to more stable framework for all. Effectively, they're launching a bug bounty program. I'm sure Peter would. Oh, we got the link there. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Squirrel. Basically, go into the CFWheels project, crush some bugs, and see what that is all about.
Yeah, $50, $50 bounty tag. So pick an issue that interests you, clone it, start working on the solution, and then make a review. And that's pretty cool.
You cannot add to the framework, add a bug, and then fix it. I don't think that's allowed.
No, probably not. But do check out the contributing guidelines. Whenever you're working with an open source project, you want to follow the guidelines and make sure you're doing things that helps the project the best way possible.
Yep. Okay,
next up. So I talked about some into-the-box updates. So on the Ortus site, we don't want to flood the Ortus site with all the into-the-box updates. So we're basically doing a weekly digest of all the into-the-box updates. So if you go check out that blog post on Ortus Solutions, it'll give you a summary of the 3 most recent into-the-box blog posts. And so that way, we're trying to get that information shared without overdosing you guys, because we don't want to do that. But speaking of Into the Box news, we had a couple more blog posts on the Into the Box site. So Computer Know-How is a sponsor for Into the Box 2022. They're going to be a bronze sponsor of the conference, and it's great to have them there. Hopefully we can get more of the team out there this year. They were one of the big companies helping Ortus make CommandBox a huge success and getting Into the Box off the ground. So it's really great to have them supporting us again.
I realized they're in my neck of the woods too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, for sure. And then since Ortus is doing so much stuff, we've been pretty busy lately. So we actually have a blog post which just talks about where all of our stuff is. At one of our meetings recently, it was like, I didn't even know we had a site for that. I didn't even know we did that. When did we do that? So this blog post basically summarizes all the different Ortus content for the week. So we have the podcast, which you guys are watching. So it's the podcast itself, all the different videos on CFCasts, all the different videos on CFCasts for the VS Code and the ForgeBox, then stuff coming out on YouTube, online CF Meetup where I presented, and then on the Ortus blog, there's stuff too. So lots of different pieces. So we're sort of trying to give you this is all the stuff in Ortus for the week, and that's a blog post by itself. So again, trying to make it easy to keep up on all the different things because there's a lot going on right now.
There is. I'm laughing at what you were saying, Gavin, because I think Michaela posted a video or an interview with Luis. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were doing that. Look at that. Luis was talking about some cool stuff, and he's like, wow. So.
Yep. And actually, that blog post is already out of date because the next one you're about to talk about, I didn't even know happened until I just happened to find it today. So.
Ooh, from May 12th. So we've been hyping it in the past that Luis and Brad went to DevNexus and did some presentations. And Brad Wood, we all know Brad, like Cher, Brad, everyone knows what I'm talking about. He was on the podcast for Wicked Good Development, developer and open source contributor stories at DevNexus Part 2. So we get that out there. Go listen to Brad talk about, wicked good development.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool because he's talking about, from obviously talking about Cold Fusion and how everyone forgets about us, and how it's building on JVM, and that's why he was at the conference. And then sort of talking about how you need contributors to make an open source project good, but not all contributions are helpful, because if you diversify your product to the point where it makes everybody happy, then you may actually make nobody happy. And so I'm actually only halfway through this podcast because I literally just found out about it today, so I'm gonna have to check that out. So anyways,
Stop making fun of me. That's okay, Scott.
yeah. Yep. And then next up, we had another Into the Box blog. So this one, we actually started doing this a couple of years ago. Dear Amazing Boss, I would like to ask for your approval to attend Into the Box 2022. And so we obviously like the conference. We think it's a great conference, and we think you should be able to come and check it out. So here's a little letter that you might want to send to your boss to, tell him why you want to go, what the benefits are for you, for the company, some of the pricing. Obviously, we just threw some estimates in there for different things, but so hopefully you can copy paste this and obviously change it a little bit. But we want to give you a template to be able to reach out to your boss and say, hey, this is a great conference. I think it'll help us out, and I would like permission to go. I just sent it to Luis, and you know what? He said I'm allowed to go. So it's working. Yay!
I need that applause button, Gavin.
Yeah, we should put that back in.
Okay, coming up next, May 12th, blog on article from Matthew Clemente, quick and dirty CFML Slack notifications with Hyper. This is pretty cool. So maybe you are aware, maybe you're not aware, but Slack's got some different ways you can integrate with them, and one of them is to make a webhook call to them to post messages to the different channels and whatnot. And so Matthew is going through how to do that using Hyper, and I believe Framework 1 in this one, but it's similar for Hyper and anything you use. So yeah, it's cool if you want to programmatically be able to reach out to Slack. I think you can do this in the free account, I'm 100% sure. I know with paid accounts, you can also get a Slack channel email, but this is cooler because it's using APIs and webhooks, and those are always cooler than email.
Yep, I need to do that so I can start getting the announcements about the podcast out on time, so I don't forget sometimes, and just schedule them with this. This will be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to try that out. So if you start seeing a bunch of spam, sorry, it's me playing. Just kidding. I'll do it to the Ortus team. They don't care. Well, maybe they do, but I don't care.
Oh man, that's teamwork, team spirit.
Yep.
Also on May 12th, Gavin did tips, tricks, and tools to write drier, more reusable code in Confusion. Dry, of course, meaning do not repeat yourself. He's got his blog talking about why we want drier, more reusable code in Confusion, and some different ways you can do that.
Yep, so that built on top of like my presentation with Charlie at the Online CF Meetup too. And so we kind of touched on it in the presentation a little bit, but some of the core features that the language gives you, like CF include, CF module, custom tags, not customer, dang it, who did that? Autocorrect, user-defined functions, CFCs with functions, JVM, etc. So it talks a little bit about that, and it goes a little deeper into some of the inbox installations for CommandBox and a whole lot. So a lot of good content there. Hopefully it's useful. And if you got any opinions on it, let us know. Like obviously we're not perfect. We're just striving for better practices, not the best practice. But yeah, so let us know.
Oh man, did I edit this one? Did I miss that? I'm sorry, Gavin.
It's okay. I don't know. It's possible, like I said, that it's just one of those things that just changed it. So
in my defense, customer is not misspelled. So
no, it's one of those things that's spelled correctly, just wrong.
Okay, well, sorry if that was me.
Ah, no problem.
Okay, so what's next, Gavin?
Oh, we have a whole corner for Adam Cameron. But first, let's just respond to Charlie's thing. So he was saying I could use buffer.com to help scheduling posts to social media. The free accounts should suffice. Actually, we've been using Content Studio lately, Charlie. It is a paid service, but it's amazing. I actually thought about building my own version because I liked Buffer and I liked Hootsuite and a couple of those other tools, but I actually have like a doc of what I was going to build. And we started using Content Studio, and it checks like almost every box. There's only like one thing that it doesn't do right now, but we're working on it because the ability to be able to basically blog from it requires WordPress or Tumblr right now. But we're making ContentBox look like WordPress to outside tools, so you should be able to post from that to ContentBox, pretending it's WordPress. And so we love that. The thing is, right now it doesn't have a Slack integration, or if it does, I haven't used it yet. So maybe it does have a Slack integration. I just need to get on it. But cool. But yeah, I love Buffer. Buffer's a cool tool, and that's a good company too.
I was with them for years, so I should maybe check them out again.
Yeah, so I do like that. I like the fact you can throw in a bucket, and Buffer will just sort of recycle your evergreen content periodically. So it'll post something, it'll post something every, whatever time block, unless you post something else, then it'll say, oh, I'm going to put this one on hold, skip this one, so you don't overload, which I like that type of thing. Okay, back to Adam. Can't keep him waiting. So
this is Cameron's corner, not Adam sitting in a corner with his nose in the corner. This is something else, right?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so we shoved Adam Cameron in his own corner, and he's got a whole bunch of blogs here, and I just wanted to sort of highlight them all together. So we have, basically, he's been working through his little tiny test framework. It's an exercise in TDD, and so he's worked through several different steps, and these are really detailed. We won't do justice trying to explain them in the blog, in the podcast, but they're really cool. Basically, he's going and making a test framework, similar to TestBox or other testing frameworks. And in his first blog post, he's adding before each handlers to the framework, and then after that, he does an after each treatment, and then he added the around each to it as well. And so he's basically building this test framework with and it's really cool. It's cool to see how that's done too. It's a really good exercise, and he's doing TDD as he goes. And the funny thing is he's using TDD in the framework itself to build the framework, right? So it's kind of interesting.
Meta, like Inception.
Yep, exactly. And then, he has to fix a couple of bugs in his recent work on the Tiny Test framework too. So there's four blog posts this week, and they're all Adam Cameron style. So I'm going to share my screen for those watching to look at one of them. So
most of it's Raison de Tour. Is that European, Adam?
Yeah. So he's got tests here. He's got a before each. Doing results. Really nice flow. And so again, nice detailed. Works through the different steps. Checks out the different pieces. You can see the output. It's just really, really detailed. And again, it's a great thought process. I like it when, Ben and Adam do these types of reinvent the world, basically, they're going through and trying to understand, and work through these steps. Really gives you a deeper understanding of how things work. And again, obviously I use TestBox, but I never got into the nuts and bolts of how they did it or how you could do it. And so, I like the deep architecture that they have in these. So again, really detailed. Works all the way through. So, he's got 4 in that series already. He actually had a few from before that. So it's a really good series. Highly recommend checking it out. And again, you can really get to know the internals of the engines and more of just the CRUD stuff that we do a lot, So, very cool. So Adam, there's your corner. I guess it's a good corner this time.
Yep. And that says, I don't know why I can't pronounce his raison d'etre. It says it's the whole point of it. So
yep,
we are educational.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so next up, CFML jobs. We're going to use getcfmljobs.com to look at over 80 jobs listed here, and we got a few new ones this week, right?
Yep. So full-time senior CF developer work, Latam at Cologne, Pennsylvania. That was posted on May 15th. The next one is full-time CF developer in Cleveland, Ohio. It is remote, posted May 13th. We'll get that link out there. The third one is a full-time CF developer at Bengaluru, Karnataka, India. I should look at these closer beforehand.
Karnataka.
Bengaluru, Karnataka, India, posted on May 11th. And then another one, Cold Fusion developer in India, posted on May 10th.
Yep. So a lot of cool content in there. A lot of good jobs. And of course, there are other places that are hiring too. So we have, obviously, our sponsored job posting, which we'll talk about, Haggerty Motorsport Ridge. So they're looking for a senior software engineer, and they're looking for one that's primarily work with Node, VueJS, Cold Fusion, AWS to improve their platform and build greenfield experiences. So they got a big team, 25 people, supporting 1,600 organizations with their SaaS, CRM, commerce, and event management platform. So they've got 8,000 events managed in their marketplace, and the goal is to be the #1 software platform for automotive and motorsport events. So again, we saw the video at the start of the episode. Brian and his team sound great. So if you want to, get in the driver's seat, as they say, we're sharing the link in the chat. So very cool. And then obviously we also have jobs on ortussolutions.com. On the About Us Careers page, we have one. It's one of those jobs are in the US and one is in LATAM. So obviously apply for the one that makes sense to you. And then we have jobs that we get posted in the CFML Slack team and the Box Slack team job channels too. So lots of different ways to find a job. There's a lot of good ones out there. And just back to Adam real quick. I see another comment here. He says the whole framework is one struct, OK, and some CSS and a couple of shortcut assignment statements. So basically, he's creating a repo case for asking for help checking out stuff and everything. It's, sort of the best way. But yeah, so like I said, I really like all that. Simple but effective. So very cool. Next up on our list, man, we got lots of stuff. Our ForgeBox module of the week. This is another one by Matthew Clemente, I believe. So I'm going to share my screen for those watching. So this is a lead gem forms wrapper for Facebook lead gems. So I hadn't even heard of this. So I guess there's a cool little Facebook developer feature. And so if you're doing more marketing creating, you can actually create lead forms and ads, and this wrapper will help you do that. And so it's got the whole documentation here, but pretty simple. And again, Matthew does a great job with these APIs. I think he uses the same wrapper from John Bergquist, and he uses that for all of his. So really, really consistent, and it looks like it's pretty straightforward too. And this is fluent. See, .name, .followup URL action, .questions, .context card, .privacy policy. Instead of having them all as arguments or separate functions, they're all just chained, and they're really nice fluent names. So they're really clear what you're using. So nice. Matthew using fluent naming.
Nice call.
Yep. And so so you can create the form and then how you use the forms in your account. So it's pretty cool. I hadn't actually seen it, so I was really interested to see this out there. And so I'm really having to figure out, I might need to learn some more about that. So, but that is our ForgeBox module of the week. Again, Facebook lead gem forms CFML, and you can install that by doing box install FBLG FCFML. So use the link because it's really long and lots of letters, and I think you just type it on a keyboard. But yeah, so good wrapper. And again, if you want to see how to make an API wrapper, look at Matthew Clemente stuff. It's really slick. What do we got next?
Okay, we have our VS Code hint, tips, and trick of the week. So for this week, we had the Vue 3 snippets. Now, this is an extension that adds Vue 2 snippets and Vue 3 snippets into Visual Studio Code. So don't be confused by the name. It's Vue 3, but you also get the Vue 2 goodness if you're still using Vue 2. So it includes all of the API of VueJS 2 and VueJS 3. The code snippet of the extension is shown in the following tables. You can see, Gavin, you're showing that. You don't need to remember something. Just write code as you would in VS Code. You can type vcom, choose the Vue code. I can't speak. Vue config option merge strategies, press enter, and then you got it on the screen. So a lot of shortcuts for working with Vue code.
So sorry anybody who missed that. We had a little OBS connection issue, but we should be back.
Yep. I'll recap it. Vue 3 snippets. It's cool. It's got support for Vue 2 and Vue 3. Check it out.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. I've been using the Vue 2 snippets for a while. I always forget snippets, though. You get to the point where, you just don't remember they're there. So I need to use more of them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Even the CommandBox ones, I forget that they're there, and I'm looking stuff up. I'm like, no, just use the snippets. And
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Patreon.
It's about that time, Gavin. So we want to say thank you to all our Patreon supporters. Now, these other individuals are personally supporting open source initiatives to ensure great toolings like CommandBox, ForgeBox, CodeBox, ContentBox, TestBox, and all their other boxes. And they keep getting continuous development as we need, and funds the cloud infrastructure our community relies on, like ForgeBox for package management within CommandBox. So as always, you can support us on Patreon here at patreon.com/OrtusSolutions. Please don't forget, we do have annual memberships available. Pay for the year and save 10%, which is fantastic for businesses. Bronze packages and up, you now get a ForgeBox Pro and CFCast subscription as a perk for the subscription. All Patreon supporters have a profile badge on the community website, and all Patreon supporters have their own private forum access on the community website, which is, of course, community.ortussolutions.com. And Charlie has given us the thumbs up for ending almost exactly on time. So, Gavin, you got less than 2 minutes to read everybody. But since these are important, take as long as you need.
Yep, for sure. Like I said, we try and read everyone's name. There is going to be a point where only the higher packages get read, but we're still trying to support everybody because we appreciate each and every one of you. So our big Patreon sponsor right now is Brian from Haggerty Motorsport Reg. So we thank them. But we also have a lot of other great supporters, and they've been with us a long time. So thank you, John Wilson from Synaptrix, Eric Hoffman, Gary Knight, Mario Rodriguez, Giancarlo Gomez, David Ballinger, Dan Card, Jonathan Perrett, Jeffrey McGee with Sunstar Media, Dean Maunder, Joseph Lamory, Don Bellamy, Jan Yannick, Laxma Terahadi, Calvin Stanton, Jeremy Adams, Tadia Lesnicki, Matthew Clemente, Daniel Garcia, Scott Steinbeck with Agri-Tracking Systems, Ben Nadal, Brett DeLine, Kai Koenig, Charlie Earhart, Jonas Erickson, Jason Diger, Sean Oden, Matthew Darby, Ross Phillips, Edgardo Cabezas, Patrick Flynn, Stephanie Manji, John Wish, Kevin Wright, and Peter and Mary. So thank you all for being Patreon sponsors of Ortus Solutions. So ortussolutions.com/about-us/sponsors. And we try and keep that list up to date. We'll have to double check, make sure everyone's on there. But one of them on there, Ben Nadal, I know he blogged this week, and somehow I didn't get any of his blog posts up here. So I don't know if I just missed them, so I apologize for that, but we'll make up for it. But BenNadal.com, I know he was posting a few things about non-related Cold Fusion stuff, so maybe that's why we missed it. But Ben's always got lots of great content. So, but again, he's a Patreon supporter too, so we thank him. And everybody else. We got a lot of people from there in the chat. And it's really good to have the chat so active today. So, pretty cool. What do you think, Daniel?
I love it. I like interacting with everybody. I appreciate everyone coming and spending their time. I like knowing what Charlie's going to have for lunch any given week.
Yeah, don't worry. He doesn't tell us every week. Sometimes he keeps it a secret. But it's very cool. And hopefully you guys, some of you can make it out into the box. We're going to be, enjoying the time there with people. Obviously, we have a lot of great content in session. But hopefully we can meet some of you in person for those who are willing and able to travel to make it out there. So it'll be good fun. We usually try and hang out before and after. And I don't know, I'm going to be flying in Sunday night to try and beat the Labor Day flight stuff. So I'm thinking we could have some hangouts on Monday. We're trying to schedule something there so we can hang out with some of our Patreon supporters maybe.
Yeah, anyone that comes, you're guaranteed a selfie with Gavin.
Yep, not as cool as one with Ben, but we're working on Ben too, so maybe we can get him there as well. But we'll see what happens. Have a good one, everybody. Sorry?
We're over our time. Others going to complain we're over our time. We missed it.
Oh, dang it.
We're so well.
Okay, intro, outro. See you later, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, have a good week.
Show notes for this episode can be found at cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io, where you can also subscribe to your favorite podcast player like Spotify or iTunes. We also have the link to YouTube to find more videos just like this. The music used in this podcast is under a royalty-free license from Sound.com and Blue Tree Audio.